Hello, and thank you for joining me. This is Diablo 2 and Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, NPCs. Act 1. Akara. This rogue priestess heals and cures characters. She also sells potions and other magical items, and gives out a couple of quests and quest rewards. Charcy. This rogue blacksmith is a useful merchant, offering repairs as well as buying and selling weapons and armor. She gives one quest and reward. Chickens. These NPC entrees are found pecking and scratching all throughout the rogue encampment. They run a few feet, flapping and squawking when characters walk over them, and this behavior can be used to herd them out into the wilderness, strictly for your own amusement. Deckard Cain. This talkative old sage is full of quest information. He must be rescued in an early quest, and thereafter will provide identification of items. Flavi. This rogue NPC is found out in the wilderness, at the border between the Bloodmoor and Cold Plains. She warns of greater dangers ahead, and fires ineffectual arrows at nearby monsters. Geed. A merchant who is full of snippy comments. Geed sells weapons and armor, and offers an item gambling service. Kashya. The rogue mercenary captain. Kashya is militant and fierce. She gives out one quest and quest reward, and will hire or resurrect mercenaries. Rogue NPC. These women look identical to rogue mercenaries, and stand around town acting as guards, while never actually killing anything. Flavi is one of their number. Wariv. This dour individual is the caravan leader who conveys characters to Act 2, once they've defeated Andariel and cleared the passage east. Thank you.
Gotcha. Act 2, NPCs. Atma. This grieving woman runs the tavern in town while pining for vengeance against Radamant, a demon responsible for the deaths of her husband and son. She provides healing and depressing conversation. Deckard Cain. Cain appears in every act, and here, as in Act 1, he's full of windy stories, a tendency only partially compensated for by his ability to identify magical items. Drognin. This aged wizard gives quest advice while selling magical weapons, scrolls, tomes, and healing and mana potions. Elzix. An innkeeper whose profession is entirely irrelevant to the never-sleeping heroes of Diablo 2. He also sells weapons and armor, and provides the gambling outlet in Loot Golain. Farah, the blacksmith of Act 2. Farah keeps a post near the stash and cane, making her a very popular shopping and selling destination. She also offers healing, as well as selling armor, weapons, bolts, and arrows. Geglash, a drunken windbag. Geglash can be found in the tavern, of course, where he dispenses self-congratulatory quest advice. Grease. This NPC hires and resurrects mercenaries in Lut Golain. He is not much on quest advice and does not give out any quests or provide any rewards. Jaren. The ruler of Lut Golain, Jaren provides a detailed introduction to newcomers, then retreats to his palace, where he remains for the duration of the act. He gives out one quest and must be spoken to after defeating Duriel before characters may leave the act via Mashif's boat. Kalen. This two-footed Diablo 2 trivia question is the guard who stands beside the palace entrance, barring entrance to all until the Arcane Sanctuary quest has been activated. Lysander. This cantankerous old alchemist sells potions of all types, including the explosive ones. He is hard of hearing and provides some amusing quest dialogues. Mashif, the ship's captain. He serves no purpose in Act 2, save for waiting patiently to sail your character to Act 3 once the demons have been defeated, and Jaren has given the okay. Tyrael. The Archangel Tyrael is found in Talrash's tomb, where he failed to prevent the Diablo and the Dark Wanderer from freeing Baal, Talrasha, from his centuries of bondage. Wariv. The caravan master remains in Act 2 while your character explores the desert. Wariv will take your character back across the desert to Act 1, should you so desire. Act 3 NPCs. Alcor, the potion dealer and gambling NPC. He also gives out a few quests and quest rewards from his shack at the northern edge of town. Ashira. This muscular, bikini-wearing, snake-handling female is the rough and tumble leader of the Iron Wolves mercenaries. She hires them out, resurrects dead mercs, and also sells weapons, armor, bows, crossbows, and bolts and arrows. Deckard Cain. More of the same from Cain in Act 3, identification of items, rambling stories, and unwanted advice. Heratli. He welcomes new characters to Act 3, then returns to his forge where he sells armor, weapons, bolts, arrows, and keys. He also handles repairs. Mashif. The ship captain sails characters across the ocean from Lut Golain, then remains at the Kuras docks, where he assists in an early quest. Natalia. An assassin NPC, Natalia was an Easter egg in Diablo 2, and remains in Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction for her sparkling conversation. Ormus. This mad poet of a sorcerer sells a few types of armor, but specializes in magical weapons, such as staves, wands, and scepters. He also sells books, scrolls, healing, and mana potions. The Dark Wanderer. This mysterious figure can be briefly seen just outside the town gate, the first time a character leaves town. Act 4 NPCs. Deckard Cain, still standing around in town, still identifying items and dispensing advice and quests. Halbu, one of the two non-speaking NPCs in Act 4, Halbu sells weapons, armor, bolts, and arrows and makes repairs as needed. Jamila sells a few types of armor but specializes in magical weapons including staves, wands, and scepters, along with potions, tomes, and scrolls. She also handles gambling needs. Tyrael, the Archangel, makes another appearance, this time standing around in town, where he dispenses quests and even a quest reward. Hadriel, this angel guards the way into the Chaos Sanctuary and wishes players good luck on their way to the final battle with Diablo. Isuel, this fallen angel, is first a monster, then a chatty source of plot information. And finally, Act 5, NPCs. Anya, an NPC you must rescue from the dungeons before you can trade with. Anya sells a few types of armor and weapons, including assassin's claws and throwing weapons, along with keys, arrows, and bolts. She handles the gambling duties when she returns, with Nilithak leaves. Deckard Cain. Cain is at his most useless in Act 5, providing little information of note and standing way over in the center of town, away from the stash and the NPCs nearest the waypoint and town portal area. Larzuk, the blacksmith of Haragath. Larzuk sells armor, weapons, bolts, and arrows, and makes repairs. His high-quality weapon selection and location near the waypoint make him a popular shopping choice. Mala, this kindly old woman, is the healer and magical trinket vendor. She sells potions, keys, scrolls, and tomes, along with throwing weapons and magic user weapons such as staves, wands, and scepters. Nilithak, a grouchy barbarian elder. Nilithak sells nothing, but he will buy items and provide gambling until he vanishes from town shortly before the completion of the third quest. Qual Kek, the general of the barbarian armories, is not a merchant, but he hires and resurrects mercenaries and gives out a quest and a quest reward. The Ancients, protectors of the entrance to sacred Mount Ariat. They will not let you pass without proving your worth and pack in a long speech before and after their quest. The Barbarian NPCs. These loincloth fellows can be seen here and there in Haragath, recuperating from their injuries or cooking dinner. Quite a few of them can be found battling monsters on the 3 surface areas of the act, where their valor considerably outstrips their ability. Bunnies. The adorable, white, and furry fauna of Act 5. These creatures are seen hopping about the surface areas of the act, where they fight only slightly less effectively than the barbarian NPCs. The Bunny Roaster. This special barbarian NPC is busy plying his trade in the city, where dinner is always cooking, but never served. And finally, Tyrael, the Archangel makes an appearance at the very end of the act, bearing bad news, for you of course, and a glowing sword, which is not for you. As always, thank you very much for joining me. This has been Diablo 2 and Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, NPCs. Special thank you to the beautiful woman, Lindy, at the beginning of the video, and I apologize for the deception. We'll see you next time.